So we are back with part 2 of the 140 grain ELD-M test, and this time we are testing seeding depth on this. We're using 40.5 grains of H4350. Again, as a recap, 140 grain ELD-M. We have, and I don't know if I mentioned it last time, this is brand new Starline brass. They do have large rifle primer pockets in them, so we're using Federal Gold Medal Match large rifles primers. But what we have going on, because these have a long seeding depth, or a long throat for seeding depth in these things, factory ammo is 0.2800, so that is 110 thousandths off of the lands. So what we did for this test, I've got it set up, we got 20 thousandths off, 40 thousandths off, 60 thousandths off, and 80 thousandths off. Figured that other tests that we did for the actual velocity nodes, that was 50 thousandths off. So here we're kind of running a gamut of shorter and longer over that, and factory loads, again, like I said, 110 thousandths off. We've already shot that, so we know how that kind of turns out. So let's go ahead and we'll start in with 20 thousandths off the lands here. So I'm shooting this pretty early in the morning this time, trying to get away from some of that heat distortion. It's probably the other thing we'll find out is, you know, does seeding depth matter in this rifle with this projectile? And was it heat distortion, or was it just the loads yesterday? So let's shoot these 20 thousandths off the lands. Jeez. Well, that's not a good way to start out. Ooh, man. That one. Oh, that one doesn't have one. All right, not great. So on those 20 thousandths off the lands, I gotta say those are seated way out there because of that throat. I mean, your boat tail, that darn rooster, that boat tail is just barely getting up inside the neck in there. So I mean, it's not really holding on to much. So I didn't have a lot of hope for 20 thousandths off the lands. Let's see if 40 thousandths off the lands does a little bit better. 40 thousandths off. Well, the battery in the Sony camera there died again, so at least we got the footage of it down there on the GoPro. But again, not bad, but also not great. I mean, it's keeping it under an inch. That's probably like a 0.8, 0.75, somewhere in there, so not really that great. So next up, we got the 60 thousandths off, but I do have one of these that I marked it with an X. That bullet sat real hard when I pushed that into the press there when I pulled the handle. So that one, there's a good chance of that one being a flyer. So I got that one marked. Let's just shoot that one first for that matter. So this first round is the X bullet, the hard seeding bullet. Let's see what happens here. Don't want to feed. That's it. That 60 thousandths isn't looking too bad. Last but not least, 80 thousandths off. My bag might have slipped just a little bit on that one. There we go, 80 thousandths. I said that that fourth one, and my bag got tipped back just a little bit on there, but that group's actually looking pretty good, so I think we'll probably actually scoot them out just a little bit further and shoot them more at 80 thousandths. Well, I'd go ahead and say that the results on the seating depth test are definitely very definitive. You could tell that, you know, from 20 thousandths off to 80 thousandths off, as we backed off, those groups just kind of shrank right in, especially that 80 thousandths group there. Those four of those are pretty tight. I mean, that's doing pretty good for a factory rifle. You know, a little bit of tweaking on the powder charge, and we might be able to shrink that up. That one shot got away a little bit, but that's still, you know, 5/8. So again, out of a factory rifle, doing pretty good. So I think we might tweak them just a little bit more, but I mean, it definitely goes to show where some people are like, you know, seating depth doesn't really matter. This definitely shows that in this rifle, in this instance, with this projectile, that seating depth does matter on it, and it does like them to jump just a little bit further. When doing these seating depth tests like this, I mean, I always like to start with just kind of a wider range and make a few jumps, and because like this, I mean, it shows you that, you know, 20 thousandths off the lands, 40 thousandths off the lands wasn't working, right? I mean, if we had two of them that were a little bit closer, that's where I'd go in, and then we would, you know, shorten up that distance, go every 5 thousandths, because if it's less than a 5 thousandths window, you know, almost even less than 10 thousandths, I'd say, like, I kind of don't care about it. I mean, that's getting really picky, and in some cartridges where you're burning barrels up pretty fast, I don't want to chase any lands on it. I want something that's just fairly forgiving, you know, easy to run, but I don't start out doing 5 thousandth increments. I mean, you'll do a lot of testing. I like to do this 20, 40, 60, 80 thousandths off the lands. I mean, shooting, you know, 20 shots to kind of get you reined in really isn't that much. I know some guys want to do it, you know, and, you know, there's extreme opposites. There's the guys that want to do it in 3 thousandths increments, and then there's guys that, you know, well, we just want to, you know, hurry up, get it done, and in 20 shots have a load developed. Sometimes you just can't do that. You know, you gotta put a little bit of time and effort into it, you know, doing some shooting. But I like to start with this, and around that 80 thousandths, I might do 10 thousandths either way and see if it changes anything, or I don't know, for this we might just leave it at 80 thousandths. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for watching today's video, and I'd like to ask you to help me grow this channel by hitting that like, share, and subscribe button. And if you want to help support the channel, go ahead, hit that thanks button. That'll help me buy more components to do more testing. Well, hopefully we'll catch you on the next one.